But Honorable Minister, again, I mean, one must touch on it, that if farmers have invested so much, if farming is such a business that it takes not only money, it takes plenty of energy, plenty of effort. And at the moment, we still have lots of subsistence farmers who have invested virtually all their lives. If right now they're being displaced, and it is just the state governments that are being left to do something about it, doesn't just leave the farmers who are being displaced right now in very dire straits?
Well, you know, as I said, you know, it is something that is always on our front burner. We're working very, very hard on this issue. As you know, the insecurity issue in Nigeria is not just unique to Nigeria. You have this as a new challenge. But this is why, you know, I work for the president. It's a honor to work for the president. But I see that leadership for me, it's not saying I don't have problems. Leadership is the ability to stay focused on your agenda.
In spite of the problems.
In spite of the problem. And I think that what the president is doing. I think that is a remarkable mark of leadership. And so you continue your best to do that, but you don't get distracted. And I think Nigerians have to give this president and this administration a chance, because I work with the president every day. The president is focused on the economy, on the transformation agenda, on diversifying this economy, on creating jobs in this sector alone.
Do you think that there could be cushions for those farmers? I mean, any form of cushions, you know, to cushion the effect of what has happened to them?
Well, I think first and foremost, you know, the issue is we're getting the security thing right. I think that's the best thing that will happen. And that's why I'm saying that the president and everybody else is working, the new National Security Advisor, they're working very hard. The governors, the Northern Governors Forum are working very actively on that. But as I said, you know, we within the ministry, you know, we're not a security agency. You know, what we're going to do is to continue to work with the state governments. We work very closely, by the way, with state governments today, than at any point in our history. We have decentralized my ministry. I have 36 new directors, 1 per state and 1 for FCT. And they are working very closely. And as we go to next year and next year, it's even going to get better. And the reason we decentralize.
I hope your directors, sorry to come in there, are those who understand about farming.
You know, my directors are great directors.
And food business.
No, they do. You see, what we've done is that as a ministry, we decided that our job is not awarding contracts. Nigerians, I cannot come to Nigerians and say, oh, we awarded X number of contracts. No. We have to constantly do what we're saying here.
So it's a case of seeing as believing.
Yes.
With agriculture.
Yes, it is. And so I have tasked all my directors that their job is to make sure that we are accountable, whether it's for sorghum production, for maize production, for soybean production, for palm oil production, cotton. Look at cotton in the north, what we've done this year. This year, when we came into office, there was not a single seed available for cotton. In fact, some people were saying we had to go and beg Benin Republic to get that. We structured a partnership with WACOT, West Africa Cotton Company, to be able to produce that cotton seed. This year, Mr. President directed us to provide 1,500 metric tons of that cotton seed to farmers in the north across 9 states. As we speak, it has reached, they are planting 75,000 hectares under that. And this year that will give us 240,000 metric tons, you know, of seed cotton. So, and that's free. We're doing it for cocoa. For cocoa this year alone, we are distributing 144 million seedlings of hybrids of cocoa to our farmers. That will allow these farmers to take advantage of a variety that we have, that we release in Nigeria from Crane, Cocoa Research Institute in Nigeria, that gives you 4 times the yield of the current cocoa varieties that farmers are planting. And it matures in 2 years instead of 4.5 and 5 years. There's a revolution going on in agriculture. That's why when I came to the stock exchange yesterday, and at the dinner that I was talking to them, I said, look, agriculture is going to be the best performing stock in this country. The reason is that the policies that we are doing, the incentives that are being created, the private sector growth that is occurring, And the fact that as our population rises, listen, people don't drink oil. They don't drink gas. They eat food. And the more we use our population to eat what we produce and add value to it, we create jobs. So I was telling them that if somebody says, Mr. President, you have to create jobs, help him to create jobs. Buy local, eat local, and grow local. That's the way to do it.
Northern Nigeria, I remember Kano then had loads and loads of textile industries. And you say when you came on board, you didn't find any seedling or a seed of cotton.
Yes.
So have you been able to reverse the trend?
Yes, we have. This is one of the other things that we are working on. The North used to have a lot of booming textile industry. The ginneries were working, and the farmers were producing a lot of cotton. But again, when you open up your market to allow it to be flooded with every single cheap thing, that's what happened. We opened it up, things flooded us from China, big from other countries, the ginneries all packed up, the textile industry packed up, and an industry that used to create roughly 200,000 jobs every year, today creates less than 20,000 jobs. So we've lost massively in terms of jobs. And so, but to correct that, we had to make sure that our farmers also can produce a lot more of the cotton. So when we came on board, we found that there was no cotton seed here. And so we went to work and we signed an agreement with the West African Cotton Company, WACOT, to produce for us the seed we needed. And so they produced the seed in 9 states in the north. We have Kano, we have Katsina, we have Nasarawa, Jigawa, and some of the states where we were doing it. And Mr. President directed that we should distribute the seed free. And so we spent roughly close to 180 million naira, just on that, to make sure the farmers can have access to that. The reason why it's important is that the new varieties for cotton cost about 240 naira per kilogram. The ones for the farmers cost, in the open market, which is a poor quality, costs about 40 something naira. So you can say it's very expensive. The farmers would not shift to the new varieties. So that's why the government supported that. And I'm happy to say that we were able to distribute it for farmers. And they've planted it on 75,000 hectares of land. And this year alone, that will generate for us 240,000 metric tons of seed cotton. So which is great for us, helping us to stay ahead of our target. But we are doing it even for other crops. For example, take the whole case of rice. We have 2 varieties of rice in this country, which is very, very good. Faro 44 and Faro 52. Those varieties, if the farmers plant them, they will get higher yields. Unfortunately, farmers in Nigeria are not aware of the benefits of new seed. They continue to use the same recycled seed. And that's why the yields are very, very low. We should be getting for rice about 5-6 tons per hectare.
Who should give them that information if they were not aware?
It's not just the information, it's that there's both the information and the ability to pay for it. And so what we've done is that, no, we're not going to say just use it. We've got to help you to make the transition. So as a government this year, we are actually supporting seed 100%. Because we want our farmers to shift from old varieties to the modern varieties.
There's also been the fear that, these modern varieties, you have to keep purchasing them. It's not something that you can store yourself or store a percentage of it to use in the next farming season. Is that how it works with the modern variety?
Well, you have 2 kinds of varieties. You have what you call a hybrid, and so the seed companies make their money from hybrids because it has high genetic potential. Of course, they have to make money from it. We want them to make money from it. But you have what you call open pollinated varieties, which is what the farmers save seed and all that. Nigeria today, only 5% of farmers use the improved seed. Only 5%. So you take a look and compare us to a place like Kenya. Kenya's population is 40 million people, but Kenyan farmers use 40,000 metric tons of hybrid seed for maize. Nigeria's population is 167 million. And total amount of hybrid we are using is 8,000 metric tons. So really, that's why we are doing it, to make sure they get it. But while doing that, we are allowing farmers to save their seed, to keep their seed, so it doesn't really lead to a displacement. And in fact, a lot of this modern seed are using the genetics of the old varieties to combine with other varieties, so you get more sturdier and better, more resilient crops.